Hey, we are back today with another episode in the Human Design Profile series. And in Human Design, your profiles describe how you interact with the world and how life meets you. There's a lot more variety of profiles in comparison to the 5 main types that we've covered and discussed already. And today we're going to talk about the 2-4 profile. So the 2 is what we might consider to be more of the unconscious, and the 4 is the more conscious element or aspect of your profile. So the line 2 is what we call the Hermit, and the line 4 is what we call the Opportunist. And this creates quite a fascinating dynamic between needing solitude and also thriving through people. So as you can already start to feel or acknowledge that those 2 aspects can almost feel like a juxtaposition, having them combined together in a person. So first off, let's go through the line 2, the Hermit, and what that may entail for some of you if you have a line 2 in your chart. And that is often, the line 2s are like, they're naturally gifted. These people often have talents that almost feel effortless, and sometimes so effortless that they themselves don't recognize that they have those gifts. They also need a lot of alone time, hence why it's called the Hermit, right? They need that alone time to recharge, to process, to refine their natural talents. This isn't always necessarily about isolation, although it can swing into that way if it's unhealthy. It's often a lot more about restoration. And what's interesting about the line 2s is that they may often feel like they're being called out by others, and in a sense of like people see their gifts and before they may do. So they will often be invited to share their gifts before they recognize that they actually even have that gift themselves. Now, to briefly move on to the line 4, we call this one the Opportunist because they often thrive in things like relationships, community, and networks. And their opportunities come through people, not necessarily through cold outreach or forcing things to happen. So for a 2-4, success usually arrives through things like friends, trusted connections, word of mouth, and being in the right environment as well. When relationships feel aligned for them, then life tends to flow quite well for the 2-4, and especially those that have 4 in their profile. Now, how they both work together, the 2 and the 4, is the 2 is needing that alone time, and then obviously the 4 is needing the connection. And so it's a natural rhythm for them to go through having that restoration time and that element of the 2, and then coming out of that restoration to share their gifts with others, and it may not necessarily be like, I'm going out today because I'm going to meet this person and I'm going to show them that I'm really gifted in this way. It can also be a bit of an unconscious thing that can happen there with how they are. So hence again, they might get asked to share their gift before they even realize or that they have it or that they're ready to share. So yeah, leaving the home, exploring the friend network, seeing how that day may flow or those couple of hours, and opportunities will often arise for them. Now, the challenges that the 2-4 profile can come across are things like feeling guilty for needing a lot of alone time, often being pushed before feeling ready, like really ready to share. Also burnout through overcommitment to others. There can be a fear of disappointing people because they don't realize that they actually have a gift, or that gift is like quite a lot more refined or will come to them with a lot more less effort than they realize. And struggling to balance the need for privacy and then also visibility. So 2-4s often feel torn between wanting to disappear and then feeling obliged to show up. So keys for a 2-4 profile is often coming through recognizing you need that alone time as a non-negotiable. You don't need to chase opportunities. Your networks matter, so quality over quantity in that sense. And it's okay to say no when you need space as well as also your gifts are meant to be shared, but on your terms. So yeah, just trusting that the right people will recognize you and invite you forward with what you have to share. So I would say the closing thoughts of a 2-4 profile is that they're here to remind us that talent doesn't need to be forced and success doesn't have to be chased as well. If you've got any more questions about the 2-4 profile or other profiles, welcome to leave that in the comment section below. I've got various other communication methods which you can reach out to me on as well. Those are in the description box below, and I'll see you again soon.